Welcome to the 24K Life podcast. I am your host, Derick Gant. You know, the 24K Life is all about how to bring yourself up to a standard where you're living your life on your terms unapologetically. What does that really mean? Wouldn't you like to wake up and do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it, as often as you want to do it? So we bring you insights, tools, and experts that can help you figure out how to tap deeper into your life so that you can figure out how to live your best life, cracking your code. Today is no different. Today, we are bringing you a mother-son tag team duo, entrepreneurs that are extremely impressive in what they're doing for their community, what they're doing for other entrepreneurs, and what they're doing in their lives. And they are here to share their story. We have Finn and we have Shannon. How are you all today?
Excellent.
Good. See, mother, son, excellent. Both excellent. I love it. I love it. So Shannon started off with a roadside peach stand and has developed that. According to your pictures, you do more than peaches, but you started off with this roadside stand. And at some point, after having much success, you brought Finn in with you, or did you guys start it together?
We started at the same time.
Okay.
That the year we did the summer internship in South Carolina, Finn came with me. And so we spent the whole summer together learning the peach business.
So what was this internship?
So I have a mentor who was born and raised in South Carolina. And for probably 5 years prior to this was 2013, he kept telling me, you've got to come out and check out my peach stands. Mm-hmm. So he ran a series of peach stands during the summer season, and just made a ton of cash. And so he just kept telling me, Shannon, if you want a great business for your kids, because he worked with his kids, mm-hmm. you and Finn come out here. And so finally in 2013, I was going through a life transition, and I wanted to spend a lot more time with Finn. So we just went out to South Carolina and we stayed for the whole summer. And we learned the peach business from the ground up, A to Z. And we got a 4-year education in the.
Nice. So Finn, did she have to drag you along, or were you happy to go?
I wouldn't really say drag me. It was kind of more like a little bit of convincing, you know what I mean? But it was a lot of fun, and I got a lot of great experience out of it. So I was happy to do it. Okay,
so you got this education, and you obviously live in the South, I'm assuming, since you went to South Carolina, you live in the South. And so how long, what season-wise, does the peach stand stay open? How long are you out there on the street with your pop-up stand?
So peach season typically in the South starts around Memorial Day.
Okay.
It can be a little depending on the spring season, whether we've had hail, freezes, mm-hmm. Tornadoes in Texas. The season will start, give or take, a couple of weeks around that holiday. And then it runs in the South all the way to Labor Day. So Memorial Day to Labor Day. Now, we've gotten so good at this. We are essentially peach brokers now. So we bring in peaches from all over the U.S. now.
Okay.
And so west of the Mississippi, the peach season extends longer and longer. So we're getting peaches, from Texas into probably mid to late September.
Okay.
And then as we move even farther west, we're getting peaches out of Idaho, Utah, Colorado. And some of those peaches can last all the way into October. So you can really extend the season if you're bringing in peaches from all over the U.S. And then, of course, there's California,
right?
Which you can really extend the season if you want to bring in peaches from there. So, but, a rule of thumb is Memorial Day to Labor Day.
Well, according to Finn, he was not outside this morning in the snow with the pop-up peach stand. He said it was snowing in Colorado, so he couldn't pop up today. But normally, when you're not in school, do you go home and you guys operate your business, or what do you do, Finn?
Yeah, so the past few summers, I have gone back after the second semester ends, early May, and I'll go back home, and we set up mid-May, maybe 15th to the 20th is usually when the season starts and we start kind of getting rolling.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll work through the summer up until my fall semester picks up at the end of August.
Okay.
So I do go back to Texas for the summers to work on that.
Excellent. So what do you think most young people should know about entrepreneurship?
I think really the main thing is like it's just work. You gotta put in the time and put in the effort. People are always wanting, things you can do to make money without having to work, but you can't shy away from it. I mean,
Right.
it's the real deal, and this is one of those things that we always say it's you get out what you put in.
Okay.
And it's the success that you have is going to reflect the effort and the consistency that you're willing to put into this type of business. And that's what I really like about it, because it's not, like a mystical, mysterious thing. It's very solid. There's a blueprint for it,
Okay. Shannon, did you accomplish your goal, or one of your goals, which was to get closer to Finn after your transformation or transition time that you were mentioning in your life? Did you accomplish that? Did you guys get closer? Is he a good business partner? Is it cool to do business with your kid? I mean, what do you think about from that perspective?
Oh, I'm so grateful that we went on this journey together. My father was my mentor, and I had the privilege before he passed away of working with him every day for 10 years. And that was the best experience of my life. I learned so much from his guidance and mentorship. And plus, it was just fun. And with
Right.
Finn and I, since he's grown up doing this, he has a real intuition and an expertise and a skill that, comes from, being around the business day in and day out. And then we just have a lot of fun together. And he is his own man. He is his own business person. And he brings a lot of insight and suggestions and growth and recommendations and insights into the business. And so each year that we do this, we are always adding something new to our
Really?
business. Like last year, for example, was the very first year that we offered a delivery service.
Okay.
So within a 25-mile radius of where we are in the DFW Metroplex, we had a website, and people can go online and order what we call a roadie farm box.
Mm-hmm.
So it's full of peaches and other things. And then all the college kids who work with us, they go out every single day on routes and they deliver. So customers do not have to come directly to the peach stand anymore. They can stay home and we deliver it directly to them.
So Finn Instacarted the peaches.
Sure did.
Yes.
Uber Eat delivery peaches. I love it.
That's exactly right. We found that we had such a large body of customers that could not get to us every day of the week. And they for 3 or 4 years now, they've been saying, oh my gosh, I wish, you guys would deliver. So last year was the year. Finn and I put it into place and we executed, and he managed all the deliveries. He created the routes. He managed the students that were doing the deliveries. He built all of the farm boxes. He engaged with the customers to make sure that they were satisfied. It was a really good experience.
Were your cost of the farm boxes and the gasoline and paying the college students I'm assuming it was all profitable, and how did you gauge your margins, Finn, on what it would cost to launch and then implement?
Well, we kind of the reason we kept it in a 25-mile radius is so that we didn't have people, driving 30, 45 minutes an hour out to do one delivery. So I think the longest time that I spent in the car working on one delivery was like 25 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
So it's not really the cost of actually delivering it wasn't really too much of an issue, and we were able to kind of work through that with just a small flat delivery fee.
Okay.
And then our standard, we pay people by the hour.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course the customers could leave tips.
I was gonna say they got their tips.
Yes, and our customers always tend to leave pretty generous tips
Oh,
for the students.
that's
So
awesome. Because
that was a big help.
back when I was a kid, Finn, and I don't know, your mom looks super young, but I don't know where she falls on the scale of age. But when I was younger, college kids used to go around and sell knives in the summer, or they would offer to paint a house in the summer. They didn't, or sell encyclopedias. So this is cool. So let's talk about the actual business side. I mean, you're telling people about this, not so they can order peaches from you per se, but you're telling people about this because you want to share the opportunity of being able to do a pop-up. So what's your, like, I'm kind of curious with the pop-up before you even get into that part about, you're not in a rural area. Are you? Where are the pop-ups?
So we're in Dallas-Fort Worth, and the Dallas-Fort Worth area now is 9 million plus strong.
Yeah, my sister lives there, so I'm trying to imagine where a pop-up would go. And
right. So we do several different things, and this is again how our business has evolved over the last 10 years. When we very first started, we put up what we call semi-permanent fruit stands, peach stands, and these are 10 by 20 tents, like real solid commercial tents. They go up roughly Memorial Day, and they do not come down until Labor Day. So they are on site at a location. And within most of the time, those bigger tents, we are outside the city limits.
Okay.
We may be in more rural areas.
Okay.
But we are on really, really, really busy, high traffic roadways that has a lot of visibility. So we have that type of business model. In town, we will set up 10 by 10 tents in a parking lot. So for example, one of our best locations here in the city of Fort Worth, we're set up in a very, very busy pancake house parking lot. And the reason we do that is because everybody in the city, we're in Fort Worth, will come through that pancake house.
Okay.
And so it's a huge parking lot. There's great ingress, egress, and we can put the tent up every single morning and take it down. So that way, nothing is left overnight and it doesn't impede the business. So we will, with those types of 10 by 10 tents, we will co-locate with other businesses inside the city limits.
Okay.
We do a lot of those. And then we also do shopping events. So all across the nation now, there are these pop-up shopping markets.
Okay.
So they're artisan markets, they are hand goods, they're farmers markets. We will set up tents in those events on the weekends as well.
Right.
And then this last year, Finn, this very last year, I forgot, we expanded and we started working with homeowners associations. And so now we book with the homeowners association and we bring our mobile 10 by 10 tent and we set up a farmer's market there in the neighborhood. And so all of the residents can come, they've either pre-ordered their farm box, right? And they can pick it up and leave, or they can just shop. They can spontaneously shop.
Right.
So that's something that we added last year as well. And oh my gosh, that was hugely successful.
I'll bet you that was, farm to table is becoming such a thing that that's got to be successful. I know I would buy, if you were in my homeowners association, I would definitely grab some whenever I saw you. So let's talk about the business though. So are you franchising or just teaching people about pop-up peaches?
So we're not franchising. Our initial goal and mission is to bring back roadside stands to American roadways because most people think that they're completely gone. You can still find them in certain parts of the U.S., but for the most part, they're just gone. And communities are just craving that connection with, local and sustainable produce. So that's our ultimate goal. We want to establish a distribution network or a network of roadside stands. And prior to COVID, we were teaching people just face-to-face, one-on-one, how to do this opportunity for themselves. Okay. So for the most part, then prior to COVID, it was families. So mom and dads who wanted to run a roadside stand to pay for college tuition,
Mm-hmm.
or they may have been looking to buy a new car or get a down payment on a house or take a Disney vacation. So they were looking kind of for some, good cash to pay for a big ticket item. During COVID, we sat down and we created an evergreen course.
Okay.
So now it's available all the time and people can consume the content at their own pace and get started. And then we still do a lot of online coaching for people
Okay.
who want to do this opportunity for themselves. And what's so awesome about it is it's truly customizable.
Mm-hmm.
Finn and I we run a 7-day a week operation. But not everyone has to do that. We
Right.
run lots of stands 7 days a week simultaneously. But some families, you can just do one stand, or you can just do it on the weekends, or you can just do it for specific, events or festivals or fairs. So it's very customizable depending on, the schedule
Right. And their desire.
of the person. Yeah, exactly.
So Finn, what's the biggest roadblock to the business? Is it getting permits? What do you think the biggest roadblocks are to a brand new person? They take your evergreen course. What's their biggest roadblock to getting launched out?
Well, I think permits definitely can be a part of it, and that depends entirely on where you are, whether or not you're setting up within city limits or outside in the county. We've done it all, and all that information's available on our course.
Mm-hmm.
So that definitely can be an issue, but it's easily worked around. It's
Okay.
not something that'll stop you in your tracks. Other than that, I would say maybe just having like the capital to be able to get the equipment and the product to be able to open up is the only other thing that I can think of.
Okay. What equipment do you need for the stand?
Well, if you're setting up a standalone thing, you're going to need the tent to go over your head, a couple tables, some display things to kind of spruce up the display, and then the actual product. But
Right.
other than that, it's like those are the bare essentials that you need to get started, and then you can work your way up from there. Like when we started out, it was just tables, product. We had baskets to display stuff in. And that was it. And then, through the years of doing it, then we kind of got set up with being able to take credit cards. So we had a Square machine.
Okay.
We had signs and banners, tablecloths. We kind of acquired more stuff as we went. But I think initially the main things are going to be figuring out the permits for your area, and then having the money to be able to get the tent and the product.
Okay.
And then other than that, it's kind of, that's all you need to really get started.
Excellent. So Shannon, what about the product as far as storage is concerned? Do you get a shipment every week? Do you get one every 2 weeks? And where do you store it? Because you're obviously not selling it all. And how do you make sure you don't run out? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, over the past decade, I have refined this part of the process. We have it down. And initially I was working through tractor trailer loads of peaches. So I'm talking tons of peaches. That's because we had 100 stands operating. Today we have far fewer, just because it's so hot and I'm getting a little bit older and I want to do less with and have more. So now we have never refrigerated our produce. So we work with 3 different levels. We work direct with the orchard or the farm or the grower. We negotiate with them directly. We go acquire the inventory, the peaches, the tomatoes, the watermelon, cantaloupe, whatever it may be. And then we have like 3-4 days max to turn it before it gets to an overripe state. And the reason we never refrigerate anything is because it aborts the ripening and the sweetening process of peaches and fruit. So we get just-in-time inventory. And we just know now, based on the number of hours that we're open, the foot traffic. Something that we look at very closely is Department of Transportation vehicle counts. And so knowing what the vehicular traffic is in an intersection, we can work backwards from that and anticipate what sales may be.
Okay.
And then that's how we budget for inventory, because 80% of this business is impulse stops from consumers.
Okay.
Because they will see our signs, and that's as Finn was alluding to, that's one of the things that we have grown into, is we have expanded the look and feel of all of our signage. So we have banners that are pre-printed. We have giant flags, like 6x4 flags, that's attention getting, because 80% of the traffic is impulse.
Okay.
So people will see the signs and banners and they will stop, and buy peaches. But in getting a feel for that over the years, now it's just all in just-in-time inventory.
Okay.
And so I mentioned dealing with the orchards, farms, and growers directly. The other two levels that we work with are brokers and wholesalers. And those are middlemen, right? Who a lot of times they will acquire an entire harvest from a farm or an orchard.
Really?
And therefore the orchard does not work with any independents or small guys. The reason a lot of mom and pops have gone to this strategy is because they are guaranteed a price, right? And then they're guaranteed that their entire harvest will be consumed.
Yeah.
So they just sell out to a broker.
Okay.
And we find that a lot. That happens a lot. So that's okay. We'll just go straight to the broker. And the advantage there is that if the orchard is far away, say South Carolina, the broker is then trucking in the peaches to Dallas. And we just have to go up and, go over to Dallas and pick up the inventory. So it's those three approaches to the acquisition of inventory. And fortunately, because we are in a large metropolitan area, we can go over to Dallas 2 or 3 times a week and pick up inventory as we need it. And therefore, we never refrigerate.
Okay.
And nothing goes in the garbage either. We have
Really?
gotten so good at this that if anything gets overripe, we sell it instantly, because we have all of these producers locally who like to can, right? Make preserves and jams and jellies. We have commercial entities here that make custard and ice
pies
cream
and things. Yeah.
So anything we have, we sell.
Okay.
None of our produce goes in the garbage or landfill or anything. We recycle and upcycle absolutely everything.
That's awesome. So Finn, how much is the Evergreen course?
I believe it's $297 right now, and there's 11 modules on that. Is that right?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we have 11 modules, and then there's, I don't know, 5 or 7 bonus modules in there. So it's a pretty substantial course.
Okay. So conceptually, I take the course, I'm ready to go, or do I need one-on-one coaching after I take the course?
I think you can be ready to go just with the course alone. I mean, there's just so much information there, and we have, each module is a video. And they range from 15 minutes to an hour and a half long.
Okay.
And then a part of each module, there's a bunch of supporting documentation. So we have places to find the permits that you're going to need. We have like a business blueprint, so you can input, how much money you want to make this week, and then you'll have how much money you need to spend on product, how much sales you need to do. All this information we have is in the course. So you can just get the course and be completely ready
to roll,
to set up. Yep. Be ready to roll.
Okay. I absolutely love it. I mentioned to your mom that the way my mind works, it's also an opportunity for someone to invest in someone else, because from the sounds of it, now I'm not a tent expert, so I don't know how much they cost for a 10x10, but man, if I were to scholarship somebody the course and say, hey, I'm going to give you $300 for the course, and I'm going to buy your tent, and I'm going to buy you a couple tables, and I'm going to buy you a couple signs, it sounds like I could do that for under $1,000.
Easily.
Now they got to take the course and they have to understand how that business works. But wow, what an opportunity for a young person to pay for their school or support their schooling. What an opportunity for, I hate to say homeless, but for someone that like kind of is challenged and doesn't have a degree and doesn't have, the foresight to do some other things like, welding or something, sounds like a great opportunity for somebody that maybe doesn't want to do it themselves to do it for someone else. Shannon, where can everyone learn more about where to find you all and how to get the course?
Yeah, so we are at roadsiderepublic.com.
Okay.
And all of the information and the links to the course are there. We also have a really active TikTok channel. And Finn and I do a lot of just absolutely free content there where we are, doing like a day in the life of and behind the scenes and how to promote, how to sell. We go through all sorts of, education and teachings on the TikTok channel.
Okay.
But all of the links are at roadsiderepublic.com.
Excellent. Well, you heard her. Go to roadsiderepublic.com. Figure out how to do your peach pop-up. Let's get paid. Let's send these kids to school. Let's the kids learn a little bit about entrepreneurship. Before we went live, I asked Finn, I said, Finn, what are you going to do? He says, I'm studying psychology in college. I said, what are you going to do? He says, I don't know. I'm not sure yet, because he has options. And for all of you young people listening out there, more options, the better. He's learning about people, which he can use his psychology degree in dealing with the pop-ups and the people, as well as other areas that he might want to go into. And so Shannon, I don't know if you agree with me, but the more options in life you have, the better life can possibly be.
Oh, absolutely. The more you open yourself up to experiences and education, and just human engagement, the more options you have.
Excellent. All right. You all hold on. I'll be right back. So, I think it's an amazing opportunity to bring back the engagement of our country, to bring back the engagement of people around the world, to be able to not only earn a living. Young Finn said, hey, I get to meet a lot of new, interesting people. I get to help people. He's a manager. He's a leader. You've heard it. He's organizing the drivers, his college friends or associates that are making money. They're happy to do it. He organized the routes. I mean, wouldn't you love to be able to have your youngster understand how money works, how life works, how business works, how people work, how independence works? I'm telling you, Mama Shannon has done it. She's done it. So listen, if you want to know more for yourself, for your family, or somebody that you know, go to roadsiderepublic.com and check them out. The course is uber affordable. And from the sounds of it and the vibe that I get from them, they are more than willing to help answer any questions that you don't have answered. And or, as Shannon mentioned, if you need some one-on-one coaching, that's available to you. I'm Derick Gant. This is the 24K Life Podcast. We ask that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel, that you check out Shannon's Instagram, Shannon and Finn's Instagram. And we wish you the best of pop-up luck. Have a great day.